Hello, everybody, and welcome to Duval Thursdays. And we're going to be talking about the teal and black all podcast long. And I'm joined today by Isaiah Michelli, our resident Jags fan, and I, of course, am Curtis, the host of the channel, the host of this show. And I want to say thank you for watching. Go ahead, hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll get into this. Shaq Griffin out as a Jaguar, and that saves the Jaguars roughly 13 and a half on some cap space. So they went from negative to positive. Good move. Good move. You've been banging the table for that for a minute.
Yep.
So that who else is leaving? Who else do you think the Jags are not going to mess with re-signing?
Marvin Jones. He's old. We got Calvin Ridley now. We've got a 50-50 wide receiver, 50-50 ball catcher that can actually spread the field and get more than, 5 or 6 yards before we have to throw the ball. I think they will bring back Dewey Wingard on like a really cheap deal. It'd probably be like a $2-3 million, like $1.5 million against the cap kind of guy. Other people we're not going to touch. I mean, I wasn't big on extending Roy Robertson Harris, but we did extend him. But I know he was dealing with some issues early on, and we actually, he did a little better down the stretch. We re-signed. I'm trying to think of what people we re-signed that were kind of like people that were going to be gone. We got Beathard, Hasty, and Harrison, and then
restructured with.
Then we restructured all the guys we just signed this year, basically.
Yeah.
Kirk, Scherf, and Zay Jones. We got Ridley. We got Evan Ingram. We tagged Evan Ingram. Jawan Taylor, I really hope we do bring him back. I mean, he's 25 years old at right tackle, and was the best O lineman on our team last year, hands down. I don't think there's any reason you let a 25-year-old right tackle prospect walk. He's asking for the projected number on him is 17 to 18 million per year. Realistically, Jacksonville could get him for 15 to 16 a year, and that equals out to 17 to 18 anywhere else where there's state taxes, where most football teams have state taxes. So I mean, there's a chance. The problem is we have to clear cap by the 15th. Everybody has to be at 0 or more. We don't have any major contracts at this point in time that we could get rid of if we don't restructure people to take a lesser cap hit. Josh Allen could be one of those guys if we extended him, but I don't think that's happening. He's going to play on the 5th-year option. He's guaranteed the 11.25 or 11.5 million. Ridley's guaranteed all of his contract because he's on a 5th-year option. Evan Ingram's guaranteed all of his contract. They're already talking about re-signing Trevor, saying like another year or so, and they're going to start going into those talks because of course it'll be in year 3. At the end of year 3, that's when you start doing that. So I mean, I think Jawan Taylor is one that we're going to want to bring back, but I don't think we're going to be able to. Just cap constraints. Again, there's nobody left with huge contracts that we could, potentially restructure that would relieve enough funds without cutting somebody or finishing somebody off.
Yeah. Okay, so that kind of answers my free agent question that I was going to ask next.
Mm-hmm.
If there's any free agents out there that you guys could sink your teeth into, but I guess if they're gonna be up against it anyway, trying to bring back Taylor and anybody else they can squeeze in.
Yeah, I think like even Balky said, like they're done spending big in free agency. They're going to try and bring back what they have now and supplement through the draft. And the problem is we still have to have roughly like 5 to 10 million available for the draft. So even if we could re-sign like Jawan at like a low cap hit this year, we still have to get it, all the rookies and add them on, which technically speaking, they'll be after the new league year. So technically you can go negative and be okay until the next season. We do have some guys leaving that are going to have some big cap hits and everything. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I'd love to have Jawan back. I don't think it's realistic that we get him back. I think, personally, I would much rather go into the draft with Jawan and then wanting interior O lineman instead of a tackle. But we'll just have to see. I don't really think. I think if there's anyone we're going to get in free agency, it's going to be probably a vet, or at least like maybe a young guy who didn't really play very much at his last place. We can kind of get on a cheap deal, just as like a prove it deal, something easy, something quick.
Yeah.
Couple $1 million against, 2 or 3 million against the cap hit. They've kind of said like Cam Sutton was one of the like people that they've said would be a good fit. Um, from the Steelers, I believe, corner. There's a couple guys, but we'll have to see. I know Isaiah Wynn is set to hit the free agency market,
Yep.
and honestly, I'd taking a chance on Isaiah Wynn at like a $7-8 million for like give him a nice bonus and pay him over the season for the rest of it. I mean, that'd be a nice little 2-year deal or something we could probably work out with him. I think that could be an option, but again, there's not going to be any big signings this all season, no splash plays because we just don't have the cap. And I don't think they want to get rid of anybody. They re-signed a lot of guys to keep them around. I think. Jawan Smoot.
Yeah,
That's
Dewan
one.
Smoot.
I think Smoot's gone. I couldn't say for sure. If he does come back, it'll be on a cheap deal. He's going to take a hometown discount, but I don't think he should, honestly. He's been with us since the 2017 season. He's one of the only players left from that draft. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna have the space for him. I don't think he's gonna want what we're gonna offer, but he might take the hometown discount to help me out. We'll have to see though.
Yeah, and then if he does leave, and Arden Key, who's also a free agent, and with Josh Allen being in his final contractual year, the edge rusher position is a position of need. Defensive tackle depth and potentially maybe even just a new mauler in there beside Fotokasi. And if Taylor's gone, then offensive tackle probably supersedes both of those. So at number 24 in the draft, the Jaguars are on the clock. Give me any of those three positions you'd like to see them go at there.
None of them.
You don't want to see them go tackle, edge, or defensive tackle there.
Nope.
What would you like to see happen?
If they are at 24 and one of the three are available, doubt Christian Gonzalez is there, but Christian Gonzalez potentially. If Osiris Torrance is available there. The guard out of Florida. Didn't let up a single QB hit or sack his entire career at Florida. If potentially, what's his name? Crap. I'd say maybe Kincaid or Mayer, tight ends. Because the thing is, Evan Ingram would be 30 going in the next season, and getting a young tight end to pair with him, to learn from him, to play. Even Darnell Washington. I don't feel like we should take Darnell Washington out early. The main reason I would like that is because he's 6'6" 3/4 and 270 pounds. He's basically a left tackle. That can run a 4.65. But honestly, if any of those guys are there, I'd probably take them over those interior D line edge rusher. I mean, the kind of it's been showing throughout the years that you can afford to wait until the third, fourth round to pick up these edge rushers and guys if you don't get like one of the top premier guys, because there's a lot of guys that are starting to come out, that don't test as well but have all the intangibles, and their tape actually reflects it, because nowadays we're in a very pro day and combine heavy draft era. So I mean, I don't think that they probably will go one of those positions, honestly, especially if they don't bring back Smoot or Key. I think Key's going to come back. I don't know that Smoot's going to come back, but I completely forgot about him earlier. But I'd much rather see him go corner, guard. I'm thinking though, with the torn ACL, Andrew Voorhees might be there at pick number 56 in the second round, or in the third round when we have I think we have 2 third-round picks this year. Maybe not, but anyways, there's just a lot to think about. We're kind of in a situation where we don't need one particular position like way above everything else besides like corner and tight end. But of course, again, we have to see who signs back, if Jawan Taylor comes back, if anybody, Key comes back, Smoot comes back. I mean, it's just still some up in the air based on who comes back and who doesn't.
Any trades that you'd like to see happen? I know there's a lot of players that are rumored. Obviously, Jalen Ramsey wanted out of Jacksonville forever ago. Don't think he'd be wanting to come back.
No.
Um, Derrick Henry has been rumored and then shut down to be rumored to be traded. And then you have there was another one, obviously Aaron Rodgers, but that wouldn't be
Yeah,
necessary.
made no sense.
And then God, who was it? It was somebody. Oh, Allen Robinson. Allen
No,
Robinson asked for a trade.
no,
You wouldn't trade maybe like a fourth round draft pick for Allen Robinson?
hell no,
Fifth round.
no. I
Sixth.
wouldn't trade anything for him.
Even just to be the number
They
four?
gave him an absurd contract.
Well,
He's
yeah.
slow. He's way he's past his prime. I wouldn't take him. I'd rather roll with what we have.
Are there any wide receivers that you wouldn't mind trading for feasibly for maybe some nominal cap hit or a nominal, draft pick capital?
Not really at this point in time.
What about are there like edge rushers that you might want that are? I mean, the edge rush free agent pool is not very large. I think it's pretty much and the cream is Frank Clark right now, and he's 33 or whatever. So
Yeah,
it's not like you can really add any youth there. It seems like the only place to do that is with some trading.
yeah. I think the top prospect right now besides him is like Zach Allen. I think he's from Arizona, right?
I think he's 26 or 27.
Yeah, he's 26, I believe. I play a lot of Madden. Anyways,
Me too.
yeah, I mean, honestly, it's not a great year for it. I think there's a lot of guys in the draft actually that showed out pretty good at the combine, but they also have good tape that are going to be some like second, third, fourth round guys. I don't think that they address edge rusher in the first, second, or third round. The only reason I say that is because of how edge rusher heavy we are currently with our top picks. People were like, "Oh, let's get Nolan Smith back together with Trayvon Walker." Nolan Smith is not going to be that good. He's 6 foot tall, 233 pounds, 223 pounds, and he's an edge rusher. No, that dude's getting freaking plowed by any tackle that gets his hands on him. He'll probably get around him a couple times, but if he gets locked up with people and he's kind of like Walker, he's not very pass rush move heavy. There's just not a lot of guys right now that are like, if I get Tyree Wilson, that dude from Texas Tech, that's his name, right? Tyree Wilson.
Yeah.
86-inch arms, like wingspan, 11 something inch hands. I mean, dude's elite at that size. I don't care how fast he is. I don't care what he's just elite at that size. Get him into an NFL training program, but he's going top 5, top 10, top 15. We have to trade up pretty far to get him. There's even talks about him going number 1 if the Bears stay there. There's just a lot going on. But there's not really, I don't know. Edge rusher is just such a hard position nowadays because people are going to want premium picks for not premium guys because edge rusher is just such a hard position to get in the NFL. Guys who get, 8, 10 plus sacks per year. I think we're pretty good with what we have right now. I wish Chase on would have worked out, but he could be a potential cut candidate as well. He'll save a couple $1 million. But again, there's really not a lot to go out there and get free agency or trade wise. I think as of right now, we just need to stick with our head down and go through the draft. Bring back the guys we have currently, let a couple walk that are aging out, and we don't need any more. The projected cap next year is like 250 something million, though, I think is what I'm seeing so far. So I mean, next year we got a couple guys, that are going to be at the end of their contracts. Jenkins, different guys. I mean, we need to start looking at that too. Safety, something there. Yeah, that's the one thing too. People have kind of projected
Wingard
like
is
maybe
leaving potentially.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
I mean, I get that.
Wingard's,
I mean,
Wingard's all right, but
Cisco's done very well, and what's the other guys? Jenkins, yeah,
Jenkins. That's what I'm saying. Jenkins is gone after next season if we don't re-sign him. So I mean, I've seen some stuff like Brian Branch at 24 out of Alabama if he falls that far. I mean, he's not really that fast. And I mean, you don't have to be a safety, but they talk about how he can play the slot. I don't think you can play slot if you can't run with a receiver across the middle of the field. Yeah. There's just a lot of possibility, and still some days left before we really know what our finalized everything is. And two, I mean, it's not very likely, but Jawan Taylor could go test the market and then be like, we could still offer him something. He might come back. Dude's got the Jaguars tattooed on his leg. I doubt he really wants to go anywhere.
Didn't he go to Florida as well?
Mm-hmm. Yep, he's a Florida guy.
So I mean,
Yeah,
he's got some motivation to stay there.
he's missed like 15 snaps in his career so far. So I mean, he's super consistent. He's had one good year last year and one decent year his rookie year. But I mean, still 25, new O line coach. He's finally going to have the same system in place 2 years in a row without having the rest of the line be terrible and actually having weapons on the team. Um, yeah, it is what it is at this point. We'll see. Kind of just need to build through the draft and hope he comes back. But if not, we got to do what we got to do. I don't think the answer is moving Walker Little to right tackle. I think I'd rather move Cam Robinson to right tackle before I move Walker Little over there because honestly, I think Walker Little's a better tackle than Cam Robinson. But we're paying Cam a lot of money, and I think we should have not given him that much, so we could have signed Jawan. But at this point in time, it's a little too late.
Yeah, franchise tag that man. Jesus.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's all I've got for questions and everything, and you answered a lot of other stuff that I'm pretty sure some people out there wanted to know. So you got any closing comments, Isaiah?
Go Jags. Ridley said with Lawrence, I'm gonna be a 1,400 yard per year receiver, and that tells me that he is very motivated to get a deal done to come back. So I'm excited. It's gonna be a good year. I mean, Christian Kirk was a top 15 wide receiver in stats last year, as a slot receiver who can't play number one and whatever. I mean, it'll be interesting to have a bless you. It'd be interesting to have a true number one wide receiver, somebody who's 6 foot plus and can take the top off of defense and run good routes and catch those 50-50 balls. But yeah, that's about it. I'm excited. It's gonna be a good season. I hate we have to wait so long, but Trevor Lawrence FaceTimed Ridley today, and they were talking. They said they're going to start throwing in about 2 weeks, so we'll probably get some videos here soon of some throws and catches. I'm excited.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Duval fans, be on the lookout. Also, we got another episode coming out next Thursday and every Thursday after that. Until we kind of hit a lull in the off season, we'll have another little break there, and then we'll come back with the AFC South show. But Isaiah, thanks for coming on, brother. Folks, thanks for watching. Again, hit that like and subscribe button.
Do it.
And be good people.
Do it.